You know what I'm saying? I'm sure I've verbally abused a handful of people. That's just who I am, guy. Have I mistreated women? Yeah, in a way.
I can't hear that.
Because this could go down a variety of rabbit holes.
Oh,
I'm not going to get into it.
don't have to.
Anyway, so back to my moral flexibility about animal testing. Shut up about the sheep. We are going to give... We're going... I could probably be a very effective ally of the dogs. Shut the up and let me finish, okay? This is important. First of all, if you put this stuff on your taint, and then when you get out of the shower, you open your legs a little bit, it was life. Man, I could really go for Five Guys right about now. Hamburger didn't sound bad either. Don't tread on me. 2308 cartridges.
Does it actually say don't tread on me?
Look, it's got the snake and everything, dude.
I hate that they made that a racist thing.
Yeah, I know what you mean, because it could have just been a cool historical thing.
Yeah.
Instead, it's like...
And now it's for white supremacists?
Yeah, it's like saying... Yeah.
Sucks.
It's ridiculous.
It's like our first flag.
So this stuff was on sale.
That specific ammunition was on sale. June of 2020.
What are we fucking doomsday prepping over here?
I'm not doomsday prepping. I only have 100.
Hornady black ammunition.
Well, how would
It
I
was
know
on
about
sale. Oh, wait, it was on sale during Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
On the back it says, "America's gun runs on black." Black's capitalized every time. And then it says Black TM, like this is the first company that ever tried to trademark black.
Also, Bass Pro Shop that was selling that on sale.
Okay.
They also they were the only store that didn't have a limit
Okay.
on how many you could buy. Every other store you could only buy like
fucking
1 to
God.
2 boxes at a time.
Dude, so whenever
They were like, "Hey, whatever you got the money for, pony on up. We'll take it."
Yes.
So I bought all of those. I bought what they had.
You know, you got man with some bullets. You need some
Well,
bullets.
I mean, it's
I like how
generally.
AR is
yeah.
capitalized.
I actually did not notice that till you just said that.
That is some bomb. I'm noticing all kinds of stuff on
Yeah,
here.
you are.
Yep. Deliver superior performance for a variety of applications. This
Not
gun.
gonna lie, I didn't read the box
this
other
gun-
than like
right,
the
you just
grain
bought the
and,
products.
and
Yeah.
the caliber.
I believe that you innocently bought all 48 boxes of these. I don't think you're the guy that bought them for a variety of applications. America's gun runs on.
Is that an empty box?
America's gun. This company seems more like it's running after black, if I can say so. This is the most
did
racist
you see
shit I've ever.
The
Dude,
9mm version?
I mean, I wouldn't take a ammunition company to be like self-aware or like socially aware. And in fact, I like how they went the extra distance and just capitalized and trademarked black. Unreal. What else you got over here?
So this is what he's talking about.
Because that's what you need. Just gotta have one around in case you feel like playing Lara Croft with your. I'm not even gonna bring up what actually is. The amount of effort you went getting things off of this camera. Like, give me a fucking break. If you applied yourself at anything to the effort you went through to get all this garbage off camera. He's got a book here too. I wonder what book it is. This is a great studio, by the way. I'm glad to know that if 9/11 happens again, we're in a good spot.
I'll set a timer.
This is not my breakfast. I'm Trent. He's Casey. And we're going to take a 45-second break because we don't have any advertising revenue. But we want to get some. Oh, my goodness. I honestly never thought I would hate something so much as I hate. This is awesome, though. You worked really hard on this? You put it together?
Yeah, this whole room cost a chunk of change.
Yeah, probably all of it.
Just about, yeah.
Okay. 45 seconds. It's funny because you start doing the show like we did the pilot, and 4 hours went by, like in 6 minutes. And
it did go pretty quick.
Right now we're trying to make it a minute without saying anything.
I forgot to set a timer.
This seems like a good time to plug our not sponsor and never probably will be our sponsor, Hornady Black Ammunition. Anyway, if you're getting around to not treading on people, America's gun runs on black. Hornady Black Ammunition. Is that like... let's be honest about what this is marketing. I'm gonna go after it. You think we're gonna get sued for this? I have $4 in my checking account.
I highly doubt anybody from Hornady is gonna see that.
Right,
See
Hornady.
this.
Hornady.
Well, I don't know how do you say it. I can't pronounce words.
Hornady. I don't know. It doesn't matter. The point is, this gun company, I don't know. This ultimately is a package that says go out and get after it. And by get after it, I mean, what's the Rittenhouse character? What was he up to? That's basically what this is advertising. You'll have to edit some of this out, but let's be honest. I'm just
First
kind of
45 minutes.
I'm just kind of thrilled. Don't tread on me. I'm really upset that they made that racist.
I know.
I
can't. That is over the things that have happened over the last 3 years.
Since racism got more progressive, let's
Right.
call it. It's in the wrong direction, but it's progressing.
These are back. Like
With the real ones? That was an awkward pause. So listen.
I love an awkward pause.
So
This
earlier,
guy won't stop.
what's this? We just started the show. This is the first time we're actually going to air an episode of the show.
Yeah.
And this guy wants to be invited onto the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wants to ride what? First of all, if you told this guy we were doing this podcast, and he's probably sitting around with his other friends going, "Oh, you guys think you're going to be famous podcasters? Get a load of these guys."
He is that guy.
And then he's like, "Can I be on your show?" No! You cannot. Not until you apologize. First of all, this is the man.
He said he's got 100 milligrams of edibles inside of him, and he's going to eat some food and see how he feels, if he can make the drive.
Who just tees up 100 mgs, dude?
That does sound like a lot, but then
It's
again,
not for
I
people who are doing
don't know
it. You know what's a lot?
how
Any.
much
Any is
I
enough.
normally
son.
intake.
Like,
I don't measure.
so you guys are out here just using the shit medically.
I cook with
presume.
soul, and I do the same with my druggies. I can't air that.
That's weird. My drug dealer he was a soul kitchen chef, and he would just sprinkle some shit in there. Earlier today, I was taking a shower, and this is a real story. And I was reading my shampoo bottle in the shower, because, like, I don't know. You know how people are like, you shower thoughts. I don't really think that hard, ever.
Just
But I'm like, I noticed that, like, well, first of all, I'm just going to plug it. Old Spice Bear Glove is the bomb. Bears don't wear gloves, but if they did, and this is where my brain was going, I was like, I wonder what's in this shit anyway. And it's really not that bad compared to the other stuff I have in my shower. Now, I read the thing, I set it down, and it reminds me of, like, this question somebody once asked me. It was like, blank is something you know is wrong, but don't actually don't really feel is wrong. You know what I mean? Blank is something you know is wrong, but don't actually care about. You're not doing anything to better it. You know it's wrong, but you don't actually feel or think. It doesn't overcome you with rage or any real emotion. You're like, oh, yeah, that's fucked up. You're just saying it, just kind of in agreement with, like, a general societal opinion. And I think most people even go a step further. Like, you know something is wrong, okay? Now, I'm going to take some things off the table when I have people fill out this card, okay? It's not this isn't Cards Against Humanity. I don't want you to put racism, ha, 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 and whatever else, okay? That's not what I'm getting at. Something you know is wrong, but otherwise, like, on a moral fiber, like, at that point, you're not really willing to compromise with it in an argument with somebody else. That's, I don't know how to explain this. Basically, something you know is wrong, but don't feel like it is. You don't think about it. And when you hear about it going on, you kind of subtly find yourself justifying, like, what had happened. Okay. What's yours? And I've been building up. Just to put some foreground to this, I've been talking to you about this for 4.5 hours now before we did it.
I had not come up with, like, I don't know. I guess I feel like.
Mm-hmm. Animal testing.
Oh.
I do
like,
nothing.
I get it.
It's not even a thing anymore, really. I don't know.
Right.
It probably is.
Yeah, probably.
Probably
at least
is.
somewhere.
No, I was
they're
very
doing
careful.
something they shouldn't. Like, I guess is it like.
Did you just get nervous?
I did, because.
Me too, because this could go down a variety of rabbit holes.
Oh, and my brain went down like half of them instantly.
And I was just thinking about.
I was both confused, bewildered, and scared.
So let's go back to the shower. Okay? Just chill. Let's go back to the shower.
We're going back.
And I'm like, Old Spice seems legit. I'm reading it. I'm like, I can't pronounce half these words, but I'm not going after Old Spice for that as much as I'm going after, like, my own basic understanding of let's just call it reading and writing. Let's just call it basic
Just a real quick side note, like you talk about all those words you can't pronounce. I have tried all natural deodorant. It burns on contact.
Like Tom's of Maine deodorant.
I guess I want aluminum on my skin.
I
don't know.
I didn't really want to go down this side street here.
We don't have to. Go back to what you were saying.
If you use Tom's of Maine products, there's a good chance you and I will probably argue about something that doesn't matter. And I don't even care that you are. It's just the kind of person you are.
It's not Tom's.
It's not even, I'm not mad at the product or the people that use it. It just turns out I find myself often in arguments with people that when I use their bathroom, I'm like, oh, Tom's of Maine toothpaste. That explains it. I don't know why. But or they have like Tom's shoes. Or if you're from Detroit, you have Bob's, which, by the way, if you're buying Tom's shoes, you're an idiot. You should pick up some Bob's because like they actually give that money to people.
Tom's make shoes?
Not Tom's of Maine. It's Tom's shoes. They upended an entire economy.
Is this the same company that like makes all natural baby stuff?
It's like social entrepreneur bullshit, okay? And what they do is they make shoes that they made in another country, and they sell them, and then they send shoes to that country. But what really happened there, and everyone seems to have missed it, is all those people who are making them shoes in that country, they no longer are employed. They're just walking around broke because Tom's is a social entrepreneur. Really what he is a fucking human capitalist. You know what I'm talking about. Tated his way through that one.
An American.
Pre-Tate Tatum. I'm not going to get into it.
Don't have to.
Anyway, so back to my moral flexibility about animal testing. I then read the other bottle of shampoo that I have. It's very minty. For those of you who have a mint shampoo, just use your imagination. It's not Selsun Blue. It's not an anti-dandruff shampoo. It's a pretty popular product. Anyway, let me put it to you this way. I use it and I put it on my balls because it feels like...
Whoa.
Yeah, so listen, stop.
I won't even start.
Shut the up and let me finish, okay? This is important. First of all, if you put this stuff on your taint and then when you get out of the shower, you open your legs a little bit, it feels like a freshly brushed mouth blowing air from your asshole down the back of your ball sack. It's wonderful, okay? And that's how I want to live my life. Until I did some investigating shortly after I got out of the shower about like the minty soap I like. Mm-hmm. It turns out this company had been in some hot water, or I guess like a lukewarm, like refreshing water. That one's too far. That's too far. For doing animal testing. And as I'm standing in the bathroom, I'm like, I don't even like, I guess I'm not one of those people that's like, stop animal testing now. And the reason why, people, and you have to let me finish because if you don't let me finish, we'll never get to the part where I'm innocent still, okay? Because I'm not really okay? You have to let me get to my point because I'm always going to contradict myself. So let me just do it.
I wasn't stopping you at all.
So as I'm sitting there with my minty fresh balls, thinking about flossing. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going on and on about this company here, and I'm reading about the company, and I'm like, wow, dude, animal testing. And like instinctively, I know that I should have some sort of like bad feeling about that. But it never travels from here to like the part where you feel stuff. Instead, I started like being like, I mean, they don't do it anymore. I don't really give a fuck. You know what I mean? And I'm thinking about animal testing. Like, is it really that big of a deal? And yeah, kind of. And here's why I don't get on board with it. Because when I was in high school, this very ridiculously unattractive human being, and I don't know what it has made this person unattractive exactly, but it probably starts with this sentence. You think animal testing is okay? Nobody thought that ever. I don't think anyone thinks that. I think the average human being probably immediately, without knowing what it is, goes, testing? What? No, I don't like any tests. Second part, she goes, how would you like it if someone did that to you? And I thought in my head, and this is who I am, I wouldn't like that very much at all. But I don't give a at all if they're doing it to this guy. You know what I'm saying? And I usually don't laugh at my own shit, but this isn't a bit. I've carried that memory of that person saying that. How would you like if it happened to you? That is the worst argument ever because the odds that somebody's just going to be doing them tests on me pretty slim. Now, to that avail, I do believe in human testing is fine, whatever.
It also tries to appeal to your empathy, which you clearly are a sociopath and have none.
I'm not a sociopath. I'm just saying, dude. Listen, I love you. You know I love you. But if I found out you were in some sort of like shampoo test cycle,
right?
Okay, and I knew you weren't incarcerated or
so it's only on humans
or in a mental facility or any of those things. If there was no other worldly reason why you'd be subject to that, other than you were willing to do that.
So you believe that humans are above?
Yes.
All the other species.
Oh my God. Let me just say this: your dog is not equal to people.
I don't know why I feel it's like goading you into saying something bad.
So I guess I don't know what my fill in the blank is because animal testing doesn't really bother me.
Some people.
What does bother me, equating animals to humans, that does bother me. And I understand people like, I don't trust anyone my dog doesn't trust. Let me stop that bitch. I don't trust her or him. I don't trust people who say that, okay? And here's
Okay.
this is vital to the filling in the blank of my awesome position here.
I'm gonna come back to dog trust in here.
So the dog trust thing, and probably the reason I don't care about animal testing, and ultimately the reason I don't care about anybody, is 2 stories in my life. Okay, we're gonna start with the easy one. One time at a bar on New Year's Eve a few years back, an older woman who had a series of bumper stickers on her car with paw prints, and she had like the family stickers, but with her like 6 dogs. The lady probably has a cat too. No big deal. She's sitting at the bar wearing a Barry Sanders jersey, you know, whatever. It was a football game on. I'm sitting there, and somebody said something to me about greatest college football player ever. And I mean, you know, it's like we're in Detroit. Barry Sanders is regarded as such. Now, we're not going to get too far down the sports rabbit hole. Irrelevant. Somebody once asked me, though, shortly after this, if you could take any player first overall ever, knowing only what you knew about what they did in college, who would you take? And it was a really great sports question. I exploded with the correct answer, and there is only one correct answer. Michael Vick.
I see where this is going.
They goaded me into it. They said, barring everything else you could know, my brain immediately went to crime and immediately went to criminals. And I think they were hoping.
That off.
This is how much people love dogs. I think these people were hoping I was going to say O.J. Simpson. Okay? Here's why I didn't. At the time, I was like 26. This is like 6 years ago. O.J.
Right.
Simpson hasn't played football since, like, he was like, let's be honest, he was breaking barriers. That's how long ago he played. It was an anomaly, correct? I said Michael Vick.
Before Naked Gun
I said
movies.
Michael Vick. I tried to justify that it's the ball carrier. He's always going to have the ball on every play, even more than Barry Sanders, okay? He can sling the ball. He's the best fantasy football player of all time. I don't think it's disputable at this point. I went with Michael Vick. And this lady goes, after what that motherfucker did to them dogs? And I lost my mind. And I know. And I know. And I know dog fighting is wrong. I know that animal cruelty is wrong. I know that animal testing is wrong. I know those things are wrong.
Could he play?
But in that goddamn moment, I was asked to answer a question. I was asked to answer with logic and rationale. I spent a lot of time on it. And I went Michael Vick, of course. It was like a no-brainer. How quickly it came out of my mouth offended her. And she's like, after what he did to them dogs, and she called him a lot. You imagine the accent I'm using. Okay,
Yeah.
So imagine some words that were coming out of her mouth that I'm allowed to say.
The fact that you're
And
using
it's
that
fine.
accent.
It's fine that she's completely out of her mind and clearly racist. All of those things are acceptable because them dogs, first of all, those dogs were inbred in a ghetto somewhere, only trained to do that. People are inhumanely having puppies in these fucking little shitbox societies, like in Detroit down by River Rouge. I went to pick up a puppy one time. All of them are blind and each other, and they're all incest. These people don't have money to get champion breed and whatever the they were. And I'm like, that's animal cruelty. Okay? Making utility of those things, I'm sorry. Forgive me. He was a young man you gave a ton of money to who came from a place where no one had the information. He might not have known that was wrong, personally. I don't know that he had the moral fortitude at the time to understand that. He does now, and so do I. And frankly, he's the best goddamn football player for the time and place and the question you asked me. Everybody else got proven later on. That guy was a machine college. He held the ball. He was a machine coming out. I was so enraged with this woman. I was done with her. Okay? I was over. Erroneous, or whatever the her. It had nothing to do with the dogs. But then I started coming up with all these reasons why this woman's probably perpetuating even more animal cruelty. I won't call him poor Michael Vick, then poor Michael Vick, because let's be real. But let's face it.
You should have.
This bitch has 6 dogs. Like, are you kidding me? You lady. I digress. All right. Sometime before that, there was another incident with a dog.
That's my line.
And I was at a... no, I guess let me summarize that. Let me finish that one up, okay? I'm mad because I was put on the spot about a goddamn... a very politicized bullshit conversation when I was drunk at a bar talking about ultimately fantasy football. And I'm inhumane for giving my answer to that. I didn't think about dogs. You said all things being not known. God, are you out of your f***ing mind? Like, That's the stupidest question ever. Ryan Leaf smoked crack. He got drafted first overall. Do you think if they'd have known he was a crackhead, they would have done that? No, it's hindsight.
I just need to say this.
I'm just upset because I don't like that people put me on the spot to have some class, moral compass ever. And really, I just feel like I'm being set up. Casey, I'm a man without a town. I can't even go out in this town that I've lived in my whole life because people, they know they can incite a riot in me by asking me a stupid question that I will answer because I'm too stupid to realize I'm being baited into their hillbilly bullshit. And anyway, you know what? I'm gonna stand by it. I would draft Michael Vick first overall, all-time best team ever. Right now, I would take my chances.
I wish that camera worked so that I was off camera for all of that.
Okay. Now I need to finish the rest of the story. And the reason why animal rights might be the thing I know it's wrong,
It's not done.
but I don't feel that connected to. And don't worry, it'll get better. It'll get better. Don't worry. Some years ago, I was at a party with a friend of mine.
For those along for the ride.
His friend invited him and me to a party at his house up in near Flint, Michigan. Let's call it Genesee County, which I'm not gonna lie to you. If you're from Genesee County, no offense, but I literally use the expression "what in the Genesee County is going on here" quite a bit to explain like an otherwise shady situation. I go to the party. There's a girl there. It's his wife, I guess. They have a kid, newborn. Doesn't really look like him. First thing I noticed. And they have this giant bear sitting on their back porch. I wanted to believe that these were the kind of responsible dog owners that would have like the gentle giant, but I kind of knew they weren't, based on the amount of drugs and alcohol, and the other people, the seedy folks hanging around. And the dog did not like me immediately. The dog's growling at me, and I'm like, "Hey, man, like I'm feeling uncomfortable about the dog." I was very honest about this. It's a goddamn humongous dog, okay?
You know what kind of dog it was?
It was a Mastiff of some kind. It was black, and it was a Mastiff. So I know it was at least part Mastiff. It was a humongous motherfucking black Mastiff, okay? Later on that evening, after we go out, we come back. There's another guy there, okay? And the dog is very intent listening to this other gentleman. Like, he's giving her, like, I know a little bit about dogs. I've been around dogs and shit. And my friends used to train dogs or work with them anyway. And I'm like, something very peculiar about that gentleman's ability to tell that dog what to do. The guy didn't like me because you know how I am. After a few drinks, I'm loud, I'm rambunctious. I'm exciting. Let's face it, fellas. The real problem you have with me, I'm awesome. You suck, and you're here to rap on stuff. No big deal. That's the real shit, dude. Dudes are out there shit. I'm not. I'm just hanging out. I'm fucking cool as a fucking cucumber. This guy sicks the fucking dog on me. The only reason why that guy would be able to do that if he was just a family friend, it would be no big deal, but he'd been hanging out over there quite a bit. And the girl says the stupidest thing any human being has ever said to another human being. I don't trust people my dog doesn't trust. That's cool. I don't trust you, lady. I didn't trust you when I got here. I definitely don't trust you now that I know that this guy that invited me to his house, he's asleep. And that guy ain't asleep. And that guy's telling your dog what to do. And that kid kind of looks like that guy. P.S. ended up being so. Okay? Her assessment was that I was untrustworthy because the dog had a problem with me. Well, yeah, somebody was telling it to have a problem with me. Somebody that dog trusted the entire time had an issue with me, right? I didn't know that at first, that she was watching this other guy's body cues and fucking whatever. I didn't know that. That dog people are like, I trust my dog's opinion more than yours. You're an idiot. Your dog that cannot read or speak English, it doesn't actually understand you at all. I get dogs are intuitive. I'll say two things. Number one, I love my dog. I don't think no dogs need to be fought or have little shampoo droplets dropped on them and give them fucking leprosy. I don't think any of that needs to happen. Whatever the happens to them, it can't be that bad, right? They did it for thousands of years before the people were like, don't do that anymore because what if you happen to you, which is the stupidest argument ever. But I want to go all the way to my main point about myself. I know it's wrong. I understand those people, okay? Basically, animal testing, I don't really give a but I know all those things are wrong. Violence against animals, animal cruelty, pressing animals. I know all that stuff's wrong. I know it. I don't feel it because of personal embitterment I have towards others. Hilariously enough, if you think about all the things I just said, that dog was totally right not to trust me, though, dude. I'm here like, that dog. I don't have any real aggression towards anybody. I'm not like a generally aggressive guy. I definitely wouldn't print what's on these ammo boxes on anything.
I think that those boxes were printed before that stuff happened.
And it just kind of coincidentally worked out for them because they knew who was buying their shit.
I don't know if it. Yeah.
They knew.
Yeah.
They knew you.
Well, hey.
The stereotype. Not
what?
you. Not you. Come on, buddy. This boxes.
Just
of
because I
animation
bought an 308 and semi-auto fucking 20-round capacity doesn't mean I fit the mold of every other guy that has an AR 308 with.
Listen, shut up. Okay, my point is people have poor judgment. I know that about them. I don't play along. Okay, I don't feel that I do have poor judgment. Okay, sometimes I definitely shouldn't share every detail of every story that I have. But at the end of all of this, something I know is wrong, but don't feel that connected to. Bad things happening to animals. Let's just summarize.
I feel like you're typecasting me just because I get this weird fucking drawl in my voice.
Don't be a goddamn idiot.
That's what I feel like.
I wasn't typecasting you. I'm saying it's very easy.
Pigeonholing the shit out of me.
If I own a fucking gun shop and you walk in wearing that, I'm going to typecast you, and this is all I'm trying to say. That guy's going to make that assessment about you. Don't fucking say that I am. Don't come at me like that. I love you. You know I love you. Don't say you know.
I like this hat.
I will verbally abuse you into agreeing with me right now. I will verbally abuse you until you agree with me. Do you understand? I know that's wrong, but I don't feel that like moral attachment to it.
Me too.
You can't. I don't think you can make that joke. You know how people say I have a lot of skeletons in my closet?
Where are you going?
I've pondered where that expression came from for many, many moons. And I'm pretty sure it's because, like, people probably did at one point. There's just,
I always thought it was a Benjamin Franklin thing.
You ever read about how he was, like, trying to reincarnate babies and shit?
No.
So how he was really experimenting with lightning was he was trying to, like, legitimately
bring back, like that. I thought that was like
the Frankenstein theory, if you will.
Yeah.
I know it's not that simple. We're not
like
that smart. I'm not that well read.
What's the like old wives' tale of how Mary Shelley came up with the idea for Frankenstein? Is it's based on Franklin's.
Let's get back to the point here.
Testing.
I know that was probably wrong, but I don't feel any moral attachment to it. I don't.
It sounds right. It feels right. And this is America.
When you open my moral compass up,
you've been around lately.
When you open my moral,
that's truth.
My moral compass opens. It's just a clack.
You son of a bitch.
What time is it?
Your moral compass is so. It's amazing you made it through the parking lot.
It's good. It's good though. So yeah, I guess like filling in the blank on that card for me, just animals' rights, really, just the absence of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know that.
Like, so you brought and like my only.
Yeah, I know the Arms of an Angel lady is pretty important about this. I agree with her. I just don't care. Isn't that weird? How I'm just, and I know you could take this and say, yeah, I love her. I know what you could do with this is throw any other social issue happening in this country right now and say that my approach to this animal thing is the exact, like, when people say, even though you're not doing anything, you saying you don't care is part of the problem, or you not being involved is part of the problem. I totally, for the sake of these dogs, I agree. I could probably be a very effective ally of the dogs.
I also feel like for anybody that
has
said that you or me, either one of us in this room in particular, were to be overly active in any of these things, they'd be like, we don't really need your help.
We don't need oppressive ass mindsets like yours.
Listen, this isn't for you to talk on.
Right. Because I'd be
like, you're probably fucking right.
Let's just posit
I ain't doing it.
Let's put me in a
do what you gotta do.
I don't want to be so insensitive that I need to ask you like what's a popular women's issue. Let's just say women's issue A. We'll just call it that for the sake of this thing.
We're cutting that out.
Trent's gonna help us out. And here's the problem. Becky and Lauren and whomever are all making great points, and then Susan says the dumbest thing I've ever heard. When's my time to speak up about that and be like, listen, Susan, you're out of line. There's never a time for that. So I don't know what help I'm gonna be other than pointing out, like, basically, I'm not even a philosopher. I'm not smart enough to do this, but like poking holes in bad arguments. I'm not making an argument for anything I've said tonight or any other time being the correct way to do it. I was just explaining myself mostly, right? People like, that's a cop-out. Yeah. You know how like when people do these shows it's under the guise that they used to be pieces of shit. Well, I'm just now starting the show, and I've been being a piece of shit up until, I would say, 45 minutes before we got here. That's just who I am, guy. Have I mistreated women? Yeah, in a way. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure I've verbally abused a handful of people. It's not my fault. I lose control. I'm sensitive, but I'm not compassionate. I have no way to feel bad for you. Once you piss me off, whatever it is you care about, I will convince you that I don't, even though I'm going to go home and be like, I feel really bad about that. Like on a social level, I do. I don't want to ever oppress any rights from anybody or even animals. But I will argue
I
to
think
the...
that's what they consider that toxic masculinity shit.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, except for like one problem.
We're like you.
Yeah, no, I'm just toxic. I
Bury that shit.
lack masculinity, bro. I'm just toxic at this point.
All right.
I'm toxic, bro. All right, buddy. So listen, luckily we're the ones editing these videos, these things of me rambling.
Oh God, yes.
Because you can take a lot of things I said tonight.
Ooh.
Say if I was already famous and you
If I was mad at you,
snip clipped it. Oh, buddy.
If I was mad,
Yeah, but nobody's gonna believe you anyway.
they don't have to believe me.
You lack credibility.
Video footage.
You lack credibility. And besides that, everybody already knows I'm a piece of shit. Everybody.
Yeah, the chip clip.
People who love
the
me.
chip clip?
I'm gonna beat you over that.
You want to talk about that for a second?
No,
About how
I will not.
chop that shit
I
up.
will not talk about.
How I did you dirty?
That's all you do is do me dirty.
No,
bro.
that's not true at all. Look at those the
I'm about ready to
the
get pissed.
clips that we
I'm
make.
about to get pissed. Go ahead. No, it's fine. I'll let you finish.
He did the one chip challenge. I released it on my TikTok.
It was the one chip eating for me. I was telling a story. You
The
me.
chip, he did the chip amazingly. He the chip was no problem. He was like, that tastes fucking gross. And then he was like, it's kind of warm. It's kind of disgusting. It's the worst thing I ever put in my mouth. To which I made some jokes. Anyway, then he told the story about how he ate a actual ghost pepper. Right? Was it ghost pepper?
No, I multiple times in my life have full blown taken down the Carolina,
Reaper.
the whole
Carolina
thing.
Reaper.
Seeds,
It was the Reaper.
all the bullshit
I'm sorry.
in there.
Yes, he ate a full.
Yeah, the little butt plug thing that you all the way through your body, out your
That's
ass.
the story when he's like, I need a doctor. That was him telling the story about
I
how
ate
he.
the one chip and we were doing shots of tequila. Oh, because
You
like,
were doing.
and by the
shots.
way, let me break this down. When you eat the actual Reaper, you see the video of the guy that just hammers down Fireball and then he still can't get the hotness out. It's not about getting the hotness out. You can't digest that. Your liver's not working. It's working on one thing. How am I gonna do this?
Yeah, I
And
bet.
you're hammering Fireball in there, which is made with
the dude
poison anyway.
It's like genetically engineered from the ghost pepper,
Yeah.
which the ghost pepper is what natives in whatever country it comes from
Yeah.
use to keep out elephants and tigers and leopards. Like, it's nature's. Don't touch this.
It's just out of control. Like when you have something that could walk up to your house and ravage your whole family. Let's call it a pack of wolves.
White people show up and are like, I'm gonna fucking eat that.
And I did. I did it a few times. The problem is it makes you say it f***s with you neurologically. I swear to God, it does. It changed,
I believe it.
It changed everything. The second time I did it, I was.
Did a spoonful of the bomb hot sauce.
The sauce doesn't bother me. And have people eat them. You do have to practice eating stuff to be your
that
system.
Is not a beginner.
Because, son, I'm here to tell you, the hard part
Not
about
an
eating a
average-
Carolina Reaper is not how hot it is. And anyone who says it is lying to you. The hard part about it is the feeling of a sledgehammer slamming into your sternum over and over and over. Every time your heart beats, more sweat. You literally start feeling like you don't, dude. I was tripping balls. Like I was hot. I was like, ugh. And then this goes on, and I would always eat hot stuff. After that, it was no big deal. Mango habanero wings. Give me a break. Hey, how about
I've
break?
had the scorpion, which is like the one.
Those are hot. I hate one of those
right
too.
underneath the Carolina.
They're
like,
still
it's,
too hot.
It's still bred from like the same
Ridiculous.
ghost bullshit,
Yes.
but it's just like it's not quite as hot.
There's
as
a
the
bunch
Reaper.
in there. I've had some like
I rewatched the Lord of the Rings for the first time since like shit came out, and it's like when Frodo was like, I'm like, I know.
That's the Holy Spirit taking him over. Okay.
Well, that's not the Holy Spirit.
Yes, it is.
That's supposed to be Sauron. That's the opposite of what the Holy Spirit
I
is
gotta be
supposed
honest.
to be.
I don't think we can get into this thing where I constantly am making the argument that whole thing is like.
I don't think you need to be that close to the mic either.
Am I too close to it?
I don't know if you're too close.
I like to be close.
I think that's the one that makes like It does a thing
Listen,
for you.
So we were talking about your ability to edit me into looking like a complete piece of shit, and we were talking about the hot chip video. So let's get like down to brass tacks here.
Did we get off track?
We were eating the hot chip challenge.
Yes.
Which I'm not gonna lie to you, young adults out there. Don't go out there and be a moron. It's hot, but it's not superhero hot. Like eating the pepper is a physical adventure. I'm not looking at the camera. I hate that shit.
So
it was so painful in so many different ways, and I wasn't ready for that. I ate hot stuff. Like I would get hot Thai food, which, by the way, now there are very few Thai restaurants where I order the hot or the extra hot. When they go, "Are you serious?" Oh my God, you can't do that. Are you serious? And I go, "Yeah, guy. I can't feel anything in there. There's like neurological damage done to me."
Dead inside.
Because it wasn't just that, like the peppers. There's other things in my past that sort of I'm sure contributed to this. But there's a hot flavor, and then there's just hot for the sake of being hot. Carolina Reaper, Scorpion, all that stuff. To me, that is just hot for the sake of being hot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
It is.
And I'm fine with it. And people love it. And there are dudes that swear they love the smoky flavor of the Carolina Reaper. That guy's a liar, but he's a he-man son of a bitch though, because he's still gonna order that shit up.
Agree.
And and he'll put some lemon and some sumac on there because he's a fucking champ. The point is, like, when you go to like anything and it's like culturally spicy, I can fucking get the spiciest one. Typically, I can get the spiciest one without any issue.
You know what I've noticed real quick?
I don't.
The same person that handles that shit and says that they enjoy the subtle blah 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 of that shit that nobody else can taste.
Probably also uses Tom's of Maine toothpaste. Callback.
Yes, they not only do they use whatever the
If
animal
a man's
testing,
growing his own
horribly inhumane product that you were pitching earlier, but they probably also
It's Paul Mitchell tea tree, by the way.
They probably eat hot dogs fucking plain boiled. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, back up.
Time out
with that shit.
You're gonna tell me no fucking ketchup or or not mayonnaise. Ketchup
I don't
or
like ketchup.
What's the one that starts with M and is yellow? Mustard. Yep.
I don't like ketchup.
I can get it. I can.
I'll eat it. I didn't say I won't eat it. That's not the same thing. The word 7 has even in it. That's odd. Reminds me of my friend Ben one time, and he said, "Man, I could really go for Five Guys right about now. Hamburger doesn't sound bad either." Let's get back to the point here. The one chip challenge is hot for all you youngins out there that are fucking doing some shit. Here's the point. I eat the chip. He's filming me eat the chip because he wants to make a video.
He's so mad about
And I was drunk, and he asked me, "What was it like that time you actually ate the Carolina Reapers?"
No, I didn't ask you.
You prompted me.
I will put the whole unedited video
the point
up.
I wasn't prodded at all.
No.
Okay, so I'm eating that.
You said it's bad, but it's not like.
Hold on. Just based on
whole story.
Just based on the general history of my life, I'm guessing I said something to the effect that it's hot, and then I started talking shit about how it wasn't as hot as the actual pepper because I'm a piece of shit who is Yep. So not to contradict myself.
The thing I just said.
So I tell the story about how hot the actual pepper was.
Yes, you did.
Which was an emergency. How hot it was. The first time I did it.
Although.
Yeah.
The story you told is different than the actual video I saw of the first time you ate one.
Yeah, no.
You took that shit like a champ.
No, I did.
The story you told is you cried like a little bitch.
I never cried.
You were like, I need a doctor, but not like a real,
but
a real doctor, not like an ear, nose, and throat specialist.
I did say ENTs are not real doctors. That's how drunk I was, because those are real doctors. Okay. All right, if you have a medical degree in this country, I would say...
No, you were looking for trigger words.
Yeah. There's a 95% chance if you have a medical degree, you're smarter than I am. It's not 100, though. It's not 100.
I will also say that it's not 100.
It's not 100. I would say there's some doctors out there that are dumber than...
Say 80%?
95% are smarter than me. Probably. I would say it's empirically you're smarter than me.
Well,
do
you mean just like generalized IQ and like how you absorb the information, or are you talking about like actual stuff you know?
I would say.
What are we talking here?
Even medically, I would
because
go,
there's
I would
like
go that far, even medically.
Oh, just straight up third profession.
Yeah, dude. I got a few doctors. Like,
you're so stupid.
no, dude. Have you ever been to a doctor? They know when you're lying to them about illicit drug use.
You watched House too many
I
times.
can never watch that shit. Okay, I'm not gonna make that bold claim. As far as
Sound like
are
you
there
did a
some
minute
doctors?
ago.
Are there some doctors out there that aren't as smart as I am? Just a general walking around guy? Yeah, there are plenty of stupid ass doctors out there. Just like, first of all, I'm gonna come at every lawyer. 100% did not go to law school. Am not going to law school. Would be able to. Would happily pass the bar exam. And I'm gonna tell you, on day one, I'm not the dumbest lawyer on earth. Not. And some of you out there might be listening to this going, that's true. My lawyer was a dumb mother.
Yeah.
Do not plead no contest at your arraignment.
Oh, man, you just get real specific.
I don't want to take on
What
all.
the
I don't want to take on. What
I
were you
was
talking
saying
about?
something.
I know. You're just not that interesting. Tonight. I don't
You
know what it
son
is.
of a bitch.
You're just not getting there, bro.
I actually have things to talk
You're
about.
talking about nursing. How you have to be dedicated to. I'm about to go after our potential Genesee County viewership. Medical assistants,
Do
however.
we have a Genesee County viewership? Hey, if you're from Genesee County and you're watching this and you don't like it, let us know in the comments.
Pick
tell us.
yourself up a box of Hornady Black
Maybe don't do that
ammunition.
if you don't like us. I would prefer it if you didn't own any ammunition.
America's Guns.
But
runs
that's
on
my
black.
personal preference. You can have your own. That's where we live.
Dude, if we
I
get a
just hope
sponsorship
you don't
from
use it
this,
against us.
we're gonna sue, not sponsor.
Understand that you can voice your opinions on the internet just as we
Back to
are
my
now.
point. Medical
right.
assistants don't know shit compared to nurses or doctors, but a medical assistant, if you have a friend who's a medical assistant, will tell you how they know everything, basically. How they do all
Is
the
that
work.
like a pharmacist?
They do all the work. It's like the guy sweeping up at a roofing job. You, buddy.
Yeah.
You fucking puss. Let's be honest. We have a dear friend who was a lawyer.
We do.
We had a lot of fun with this guy, but the first thing he tells you about himself is that his moral compass just keeps on spinning. And he's not lying.
That's not exactly what he said.
Well, we can't say what he said because he never admitted to it in front of a grand jury. So
Yeah, he did.
he did not. Acquitted
Oh,
and
well,
guilty are not the
I mean,
same. Acquitted is acquitted, boy.
well,
We
I
do
mean,
not,
we're not saying his name.
and we're not gonna say he did it.
I'm not. We haven't.
But you know who you are.
If you're watching this, what's up, bud?
And P.S. We're gonna need legal counsel because I'm pretty sure I said a lot of stuff we can't say.
He's not that kind of lawyer.
He's gonna be because I can't afford a real one. If I go into public and it takes longer than 2 hours to do anything, there is a 100% probability, or a 100 probability, or one probability of one. I guess I don't know. It's some statistical bull. I've been trying not to use a lot of words
I
lately.
was with you, and now I'm gone.
Doesn't matter. Shut the up. But there's a pretty good chance that I'm gonna commit a crime on accident. Not like
Anyway.
a violent one. I'm just saying, like, I'm gonna run a red light. I'm gonna get the out of there, dude. I'm gonna commit. Do you know how many crimes I commit a day without knowing?
You did kind of have a rolling stop right after that.
And then I thought you were like,
So
oh,
technically.
you were like, you got to stop for 3 seconds, and I was like, no, it's 0.3 of a second. And you're like, no, that's
That's very
that-
much not true.
and you're like, that's for running a red light. And I'm like, oh yeah. Well, must have confused stop signs and red lights. Could be all the confusion. Couldn't possibly be from the 2,000 bumper stickers I've been reading on the back of everybody's car for the last 2 weeks. Every time I see a bumper sticker, even if I agree with it, a part of me. Back to our point. Every time I see a bumper sticker, I want to give myself a hair more. The needle starts moving towards the red. I'm about to blow the engine in Days of Thunder, bro. Tom Cruise just can't get out of that race car fast enough. This life.
Out of the 7 people that watch this, 3 of them have seen that movie.
All right, let's plug Days of Thunder. I'm sure Tom Cruise won't mind. And by the way,
Hey,
on this show,
wait, Kidman's in that, right, too? That's when they were
Yeah, I
together.
love her.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Back
and,
in them
and
days.
anyway, anybody hoping that if this show ever does anything, which it probably won't, but it might, and if it
could.
does, and it's gonna, we're gonna be
will.
famous as.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for a couple guys that are gonna just start going after Tom Cruise negatively, you got the wrong guys. Got the wrong guys.
You know what's going to suck?
No.
Is the same thing that happened during the pilot where you talked about a certain somebody and then literally within 36
know.
hours they
They-
were arrested for some
So-
horrible shit.
Let us just disclose the reason why this is the first.
We are
episode.
recording this.
We had one before the
as
new
of Friday, January 6th is when we are recording this.
Oh my God.
Shit.
We're going to have to cut all that ammunition
You
stuff
put
out.
all of that on the January 6th recording.
I know. Do you know why I did that? Right before.
You did not plan that.
Right before we went on the air, my friend Randy, who's always been accusing me of being a racist, goes, and I'm not lying to you. I'm not lying to you. I'm not lying to you. At 8:05 p.m. tonight, Eastern, it's 10:52. He goes, "Hey, where were you 2 years ago on this exact date?" You said a minute ago, we can't talk about people that I like, or even say that I like them, because as soon as I do that, like 2 days later, they get the message that they hate us. But the guy that wrote Everybody Loves Raymond, I love him. And I love his fucking new show. But I don't want to say his name. I don't want to.
All right. We'll talk about it later.
I don't want to.
But
Because I love him.
Somebody will figure it out.
And I trust him not to be a bad person.
I
didn't trust.
There are so many people that hope so.
With the pilot, I didn't really trust Andrew Tate not to be a bad person. In fact, I was joking when I said I think he's an okay
like,
guy.
Tom Hanks still makes me nervous.
Fucking A.
He's been around too long. You can't be around that long and not have a skeleton.
Dude, I think about Tom Hanks being potentially the world's biggest predator a lot.
Oh.
Lot.
It would crush you, wouldn't it?
Nah, probably not.
I would feel not crushed, I
It
guess.
wouldn't crush me. Like,
Because he's just a celebrity, but like...
Hang on a second. So, like, when people found out Tim Allen was, like, basically a concrete Trump supporter, they were like, I'll never watch Toy Story again. Let me stop you right there, Alice. You're 30... Shh. First of all, it's stupid. You're 37 years old. If you're not watching cartoons ever again, I'm fine with that decision that you're making. I'm still going to watch.
But I feel like that is implying they're not going to show it to their kids.
Could give a fuck. And so could Tom Allen.
I don't know. I
Tim
feel like
Allen.
the Toy Story series by itself is good for kids.
Also, Tim Allen voting for Donald Trump doesn't make him not Buzz Lightyear. Man, Buzz Lightyear's still fucking Buzz Lightyear, bro. The message is still there. You got a friend in me.
Right, just don't watch that whatever TV show he had where it was super political all of a sudden.
Who gives a rat's ass? He's Tim Allen. He's out of his fucking mind. Who cares?
I'm just saying, like, if that's what you don't want, don't watch that.
I'm not defending conservative viewpoints. I'm not even defending the man. I'm defending I'm defending sanity. Sanity, right? Sanity.
Right,
Holy
like
shit.
back there was stuff that made you like him, and then something happened that made you not like him.
That's
you
ridiculous.
can still watch the other stuff that was where it was good.
All right, dude, you're gonna tell
Like
me.
I'm not gonna not watch Lethal Weapon.
So like when people found out like Kevin Spacey was Kevin Spacey and the fuck out of stuff.
I'm not gonna not watch Usual Suspects.
Best movie maybe ever.
Dude, that whole
Top
like
fucking
behind the scenes
10.
thing about how like they're laughing in that scene because Benicio del Toro
He's
is
the
shitting his
best,
pants.
though. Benicio del Toro's so good.
Like it makes the movie better.
What the does it mean you're a fucking retard?
And don't you fucking drink the whole fucking thing.
It's 8 ounces. My God, I can't even.
Well, I guess you should have grabbed the bigger ones. Cause now I want some.
We'll go get another one, dude. We'll just edit the pause out. You're
Trying
not
to
really
grab different people.
You're not really a doomsday prepping anarchist. You're just lazy and don't put stuff away.
Correct.
Yeah. No, I know. If I thought for a minute that this loaded magazine was any cause for concern, I wouldn't have removed all the bullets
Right,
from it
because
and put it in my pocket to take home with me because I'm worried about you.
the device that is used to launch said projectiles is stored safely and securely.
No, it isn't. But
Yes, it is.
It's secure enough. I got you.
It's locked.
I don't feel like you and I are in a position to talk about gun safety.
Wait, which magazine are you talking about?
Good housekeeping. Shut the fuck up, dude. We're not talking about guns on this show or gun stuff.
Sounds like we were.
Dude, there are so many videos that exist on the internet of people hitting their heads and accidentally shooting shit and almost blowing their own feet off.
That's why I leave the fucking safety on.
No, I'm talking about just videos of us and our friends. Oh my God, do we get into this? We're not getting into this. Where I say things, my mom gets kind of worried. Like the other day I told her, I was like, I don't know, Mom. I don't feel like my life has purpose.
What's a fictitious character that I could have used instead of a
Who gives a
Hollywood
rat's
actor that
ass?
isn't-
This is an
I don't know.
underestimation. Pull the trigger. I don't give a fuck. That's my point. I'm not gonna fight.
I would try.
I'm gonna tell you this
because-
right now. If you try and rob me, you can have all my stuff. You can have half of my nothing.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna hear the glass break. That's gonna give me the time I need.
Jesus Christ. I'm more upset that you woke me up than you're going to steal all of my shit. I don't.
That's why I'm gonna pull the trigger.
You see how much- first off,
It's not because you're taking my stuff. It's because it's fucking 4 a.m. and I was trying to sleep.
Here's you stealing my $30 and change out of my house to go buy meth. Take whatever you want. By the way, I also happen to believe that if something's very valuable to you, material or sentimentally or any of that stuff, you don't just leave it laying around for someone to take.
right here. Still in the box.
I will buy you 3 more of those right now. I will order them on Amazon for you to put that down and shut the fuck up. Earlier today, you were like, let's film a podcast. I was like, I don't
probably have an
wanna."
episode or
Here's
two.
me. I'm at like 3:30. Like, I don't want to. I got stuff to do.
I gotta talk into
Do
everything.
you want to know what I had to do today? Did you think I did it? I want you to be honest with me as a friend. You're my best friend, by the way.
I think
I feel like we should.
You had to
let's
get-
reframe this.
you
are
had
my
to
best
you had to
friend.
go
I
get
love you.
clothes.
Didn't do
it. So that was on the list.
It's still on the list. I didn't get around to it, bud. Do you know why I didn't get around to it? Because I was too busy thinking about what the we were going to talk about later. Because instead of being
Yeah,
like,
you know what? You could have answered my first phone call, gone to Meyer with me.
here's my favorite part.
Right.
I'm not buying
Locals.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Oh, you're too good to buy fucking clothes from Meyer?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. The
Good.
lowest I'm slumming it is Kohl's, and let's get something straight here. If I walk in the door and the line exists, I'm going back home and ordering my shit online and hoping for the best.
All right.
Do not underestimate me. I don't even know what I just said. I was really upset about something a second ago, and now I don't remember what it was. See, this is good for me. Oh yeah. Earlier today, I was gonna tell you, no, I don't feel like it. You think a zookeeper says, I don't trust people that my lion doesn't trust? No, he's pretty aware why that lion doesn't trust you. He's a lion. He's a ferocious beast. So is your dog. Your dog has an instinct in there to kill you in your sleep, or even while you're awake, depending on what kind of dog it is. And people are like, crocodiles aren't dogs. Well, there's a whole qualitative argument to be had there because, frankly, dogs aren't people. And that's the t-shirt. Anyway, if you buy a Dogs Aren't People t-shirt, we will be donating a shitload of money.
Dogs aren't people. That
Yeah.
should go over.
Yeah.
I like it. We're gonna do it. That's it.
We could just do Dogs Are People, too. We're still deciding. We're deciding
Dogs
right
are people too.
now. We could
Or
do a
dogs
poll.
aren't people.
We could do a poll, except
we doing?
we have no viewers. So we're going to have
We
to vote on
got
this ourselves.
nothing. We got
It's
just
gonna
our
be
degenerate
It's
friends.
going to be an
who
animal-oriented...
will obviously say
It's going to be an
can't talk.
animal-oriented piece of merchandise, and we're going to donate a small, okay, I'm even going to call it sizable, a small portion to animal rights activism. Because I do understand, like, you know, I'm going to say that we will give a...
I'm interested.
We're going to give
I'm saying it's right.
We're
Just
going to
saying
give...
It's interesting.
Shut up about the fucking sheep. We are going to give... We're going... We're going to give a portion to animal charities, if you will, that reflects that I know that it's wrong,
Right.
but it won't be sizable enough to reflect that I feel that it's wrong.
Okay.
And every single week, we're going to have to come up with new charities to support with new pieces of merchandise as an attempt to smooth over the fact that I'm quite sure I've offended thousands of people. But when you are offended,
Agreed.
when you feel that you are offended by what I've said, just ask yourself something. Is it really that important? Because basically all I'm really trying to do is just comment on how it's not really that big of a deal. I'm not even trying to play a neutral party. I'm not trying to play devil's advocate or even any advocate, really. I don't want to advocate anything.
They are.
I'm just saying, you know, I know that animal cruelty is wrong.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't beat my dog or anything. My dog's awesome. We eat a lot of cheese together, and we have a lot of good times. Always upsetting somebody. She's so loud. She does
Yeah,
that.
you got a hound.
She's the fattest, laziest, loviest dog in the world. You know what the problem with this dog is? She trusts absolutely everybody. She has no
Including
reason
you.
not to. And you want to know why I don't put that pressure on my dog? Fucking grown-ass man. If I don't want you in the house, I'm going to tell you. I don't need the damn dog to tell you. The dog doesn't speak English. Now, moving on to the next point, and the most important point of this show. Over the weekend, a tragic event happened in the NFL. Everyone's aware of it. DeMar Hamlin was injured. He went into cardiac arrest on the field. It wasn't because of a COVID vaccine or any of that. I'm going to go ahead and cross that barrier. It is incredibly possible to take on a massive impact from a giant choo-choo train, be it T. Higgins or an actual train,
Hold
and
on
put you
a
in
second.
cardiac arrest.
Can I give you a timeout? Can I give you the opportunity to stare right at that camera and do a not my hill as I go get my fucking Red Bull?
I
'Cause we're
literally have to look and talk by myself, do a solo round.
Give it a shot. We're ranting anyway. Might as well run.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go do this one myself.
All right.
Oh my god. So, hill I'm gonna die on. Last week, mini leagues, fantasy football players, of which I am one, and hold the judgment, ladies. Okay. But this is the hill I'm gonna die on this week. Damar Hamlin was injured. It's tragic, and it was crazy. A lot of people were coming out saying, "Oh, it's because he was COVID vaccinated and all this other stuff." No, it's because he got hit by a fucking choo-choo train. It is absolutely possible to take massive impact and go into a seizure or cardiac arrest. It happens to babies all the time when they bump their head. They have seizures. This boy got smoked at just the right time. And 1 in a million chance his heart was doing what it did, just got blasted. He falls to the ground. It is what it is. They cancel the fucking game. When they did cancel the game officially, and before I go any further and get any more offensive, I do hope that guy's okay. Because I watched it happen, and I went, and as soon as it happened, like even my heart was like, holy shit. That dude just died in front of me on this field. Somebody's going to die in the NFL someday. We know that. It's a fact. I hope this guy isn't that guy. But they canceled the game, and when they did that, a lot of fantasy football leagues were determined. A lot of championships were determined at that time, mine in particular. And the hill I'm going to die on today is that the folks who won their fantasy football leagues as a result of the player they're playing against didn't have Josh Allen or T. Higgins or Gabe Davis or whomever. Those guys didn't get to finish the game, but the scores are final. And the scores being final is an act of God. It'd be no different if all those players had just gotten hurt. Those are the champions. The hill I'm going to die on is, it's a act of God. And you're the champion. And no, you're not getting an asterisk. It's unfortunate what happened, but champions were crowned. And I would have drafted Michael Vick first overall every year that he played. No problem. And I'm going to die on both of those hills. And probably soon. That's all I got. That's me. That's me signing off the dying on this hill.